Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue. Today from Aronimink Golf Club in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. Aronimink has been here since the late 20s, designed by the great Donald Ross. Today, we're going to be looking at a restoration plan that actually started a couple years ago and now is about 90% complete. Right behind me is what is going to be the freeform 10th tee box. And as you can see, the bulldozers are still here, all getting ready for the BMW Championship that will be played here at Aronimink in September of 2018. On tap today, we have Gil Hanse, the noted architect from Malvern, and also John Gosselin, a longtime superintendent here at Aronimink. He and Gil have been working almost on a daily basis, going over this restoration plan and getting it ready for the members and for the big tournament next September. Stay with us. Up next, Gil Hanse and John Gosselin from the restored Aronimink on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf, now celebrating its 20th season, is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirstteephiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA. Experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.
Along with being stewards of the game of golf, your local PGA professional wears many hats.
We are teachers.
We are players.
We are managers.
We are merchandisers.
And community leaders.
But we all wear one badge.
PGA professionals are well-trained experts who work hard to share the joy of golf with our neighbors for over 90 years. To find your local PGA professional, visit phillypga.com. Brought to you by the Philadelphia section of the PGA.
We are the experts in the game and business of golf.
The First Tee of Greater Philadelphia, where golf is more than a game.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. We're at the Grill Room at Aronimink Golf Club in Newtown Square, and we're talking about the restoration of this fantastic golf course with John Gosselin, who is the superintendent of golf here at Aronimink, and Gil Hanse, the architect, who was given the job to restore it to the Donald Ross design. Guys, thanks for joining us today, and
thank you.
Good to see you again. John, let's do a little timeline, if we could, as to when this project was planned, what the goal of it was in terms of completion, and where we stand right now.
Okay. I think it was in 2015, we want our master plan, which we had on file, was 20 years old. And with, we're all a lot smarter 20 years later, and a lot more information had come to light on the golf course. So we want to do a master plan review. And what was driving it was we had a declining asset, which was our bunkers. They were declining, and we knew that we were going to have to rebuild them. So it was a good time just to review the master plan, and that's when we contacted Gil, and lucky enough, we fit into his timeline as well. And Gil did the review, and when he came back, he just got everybody really excited. What he wrote about the original as-built course and how good he thought it was, and the fact that it was still all here and we could put it back. So that was in 2015. Everybody got on board. We had a member vote, and overwhelmingly they decided, yeah, let's keep pushing the course back to make it as authentic as possible to the original Donald Ross course that was built here.
And Gil, you were working basically off some original design plans and photographs, and we have an aerial shot here that dates back to 1929, so the course was open in 28, so that's what it looked like back then. So you had that advantage to get a pretty good jump start on what you were doing from a restoration standpoint. Huh?
We did. I mean, it's great that the clubs has that resource, and you know, we're blessed here in the Philadelphia area. There's a gentleman named Dolan, and his aerial photography collection is housed at the Hagley Museum down in Wilmington. And he was, you know, worked for a company, took aerial photographs of Philadelphia, but not specifically golf courses, but he loved golf, so he took an extra can of film and always shot photos of golf courses, and we're the beneficiaries of that treasure trove of information. So the fact that the club had that information, it had come to light after the original master plan was created, allowed us to really look at the differentiation between the plans that Ross had prepared and the course that he built. So from that standpoint, we decided, because the golf course that he built was so dramatic and just so incredibly impressive, that we would, you know, ask the membership if we could go back in that direction. So using that as our guideline, we put together a plan that would allow us to accomplish that.
So when you presented your plan to the membership, now John talked about how originally it all began with the bunkering, and it had something that had to be done with the bunkering, but your plan took into consideration not just the bunkering, but also the greens, not just those two, but also the tee boxes, and then you finished off too by widening some of the fairways, correct? Or narrowing them, wherever the case may be. So was that something that evolved, or was that from day one what you wanted to do?
Well, from day one, I think the club asked us to take a holistic approach on the entire property and to look at Ross and what he had built and say, okay, we know the bunkers were drawn in one instance to be just one bunker here, one bunker there, but the reality was the construction was clusters of 3 or 4 bunkers, and the dramatic improvement visually, but also playability, that would create. What did he do with the tees? The tees were all free form, sort of large flowing. They sat down on the ground a little bit, closer to his original design. The fairways, because the bunkers expanded, they needed to be in contact with the bunkers instead of everything being narrower, which is kind of the natural evolution of any golf course, especially one that had trees as a significant part. They were introduced over a period of time, and once those trees had been peeled back in the original master plan, the golf course sort of fit a frame that was no longer there. And so with the construction of this new frame with the bunkers in place, we also had to fit the fairways to it. We had to fit the scale of the greens back to recapture a lot of what Ross had originally intended, some hole locations that had been lost over a period of time. So kind of looking at the evolution of the golf course, looking at where it originally was, the goal was to restore every element of it back to the original Ross as built. The club would have to decide over a period of time what resources they wanted to commit to that, whether that was a 1-year, 2-year, 3-year project. And with some tournaments that were coming up, et cetera, the club decided after the enthusiastic response from the membership to be more aggressive and pursue all the elements instead of just the bunkers.
John, Gil talked about, okay, the facets, the bunkering, the greens, the tee boxes, the fairways. How much, shall we say, of fairway increase is there compared to 2 years ago?
Well, we added, say for fairways, we added 6 acres. Of fairway turf width. It's about 20%. We recaptured.
That's pretty significant.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
for somebody that strays the ball like me.
No, it fits. It fits really well now. The way the fairways wrap around. Everything was big when this course was built for its time, so it goes back to that same big scale. The green space is probably about the same. About 18 to 19%, so 29,000 square feet, which is a lot, is what we reclaimed. And the tee space is still yet to be determined because we are adding some forward tees that were never there to pay attention to junior golfers.
How about in terms of stretching out the golf course? Because, you know, we all know today, no golf course, it seems, can contain certain players when it comes to hitting a golf ball. What are we looking at from the tips?
On paper right now, we'll be about 7,300 yards par 70. We did intentionally, well, Gil can talk more about this, but we didn't go out intentionally and try and find more yardage. It just happened as we were doing the tees. As we reclaimed green space, the center point of the green might have moved 10 yards on 15. So 15 was a 499 par 4. Now it's 515.
Okay,
But
got it.
it wasn't necessarily intentional. who knows in the future if we'll have to go out and do that study in length and take a look and see if we can grab some yardage. It all depends on, you know, how far they keep hitting the ball, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And that remains an open question. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to ask in particular, what holes are there that have changed really dramatically here at Aronimink because of the restoration? Back with John Gosselin and Gil Hanse on Inside Golf in just a moment.
Success requires hard work. No way around it. Realize timing is key. Be willing to push yourself. Stay in control. Trust technology to support you. My father once said, "Doesn't matter what you do in life, just be the best at it."
Welcome back to Inside Golf and to Aronimink Golf Club with John Gosselin, Gil Hanse. We're talking about the restoration, which is almost complete. Getting ready for another big year here at Aronimink next September. In 2018, Aronimink will host the BMW Championship, which is the next to last event in the FedEx Cup playoffs. 70 top players will be here. Half of them will not make the trip to Atlanta for the championship. We left off with me hinting that we would talk about what are some of the holes that maybe were dramatically changed, either by length or by design. And Gil, can you think of one? You know, we talked about the length of the golf course. How about the shortening of any holes?
Yeah, we actually did. We took the 5th hole, par 3 along the perimeter, which was always intended to be a short par 3, and as the green is diabolical, so you understand why it should be a short club in your hand, and we shortened that golf hole. So now the members play it in the 125 to 140 range, which is right in context with what Ross had intended. So when you look at the stretching, the pushing, the pulling, we also did a little bit of contraction, but the one place where we did do some definitely stretching is 15 green.
15 green.
15 green on Ross's notes, he referenced it as punch bowl-like, and I think that we extended the green back a good 20 to 30 feet. We captured a significant amount of square footage, which is now about 10,000 square feet. So it's a gigantic green, but it's necessary. It's an incredibly long golf hole. And then I think visually, I mean, John can talk about it, but I think it's number 11.
Number 11 from the tee is
uphill green.
Yeah, you just walk off the 10th green and you walk onto the 11th tee, and there's a wow factor there, and it just happened, you know, by putting the bunkers back, and the hole always was very visually appealing, and now it's a little bit of a wow factor when you come around. You know, from what I've heard, from my opinion too, but from when people see it for the first time.
That's when they want to grab their phone and take a picture rather
Exactly.
than play the hole, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, the whole trend now, it seems to be, nobody's designing, well, I shouldn't say nobody. There are, and you've been involved at Stream Song with a new golf course design at that resort in Florida, Stream Song Black, and congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
But restoration work is becoming more and more part of what you do. And from a superintendent standpoint, you know, delving back into the past to help an architect like Gil and finding plans and videos and aerial shots. I mean, is this the future for a fellow like you more so than actual new course design?
Well, I think that there's always going to be a bigger market segment because there are more existing golf courses than there will be opportunities. And I think, I'm hopeful at least, that clubs around the world and around this country will take a page from what Aronimink did and really focus on the original golf course architect, and not only just sort of typically what did Donald Ross do everywhere, but specifically what did he do at Torresdale, what did he do at Gulf Mills, what did he do at Aronimink, you know, just a couple of the courses in this city that he was involved with, and as opposed to just generalizations, let's get to the specifics of it. And that was our goal here, was to really focus on what did Ross do specifically and to put that back.
You know, there is the plaque outside, and anybody that's been here knows what I'm talking about, where Ross said, and he's been quoted, and I'll just paraphrase, that he knew it was a good golf course. He didn't realize how good it was, and a masterpiece and all that. Is John Gosselin and Gil Hanse going to have their own plaque saying, well, we took it one step further, Mr. Ross?
I don't think
There won't be
either
a
of us,
plaque, yeah.
no, neither of us are looking for plaques. So
No.
our reward is that people come off and go, wow, that Donald Ross knew what he was doing.
Yeah, well, you guys do too, and it's a pleasure to sit here and talk to you, take it back a little bit in history to see when you scratch the surface what you found, and now I can imagine, like anybody, any profession, to see it fulfilled and now get the best in the world to play it is going to be a special year for you.
Certainly be a bonus, yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thanks.
John Gosselin, Gil Hanse, talking about the restoration of Donald Ross's masterpiece here at Aronimink. Stay with us. More to come on Inside Golf.
Interesting. I actually visited Sand Valley in late October this year. It is in the middle of nowhere. It's not easy to get to, but it's a fantastic.
Welcome back. Inside Golf continues with our teed off panel, and today we're at the beautiful Bluebell Inn in Bluebell, Pennsylvania. You know, the holiday time, it has some time to get together with family and friends, right? Maybe a lunch, a dinner, maybe both. New Year's Eve is coming up. This is the place to be, the Bluebell Inn. All right, our panel today, Sean Palmer, Director of Golf for Union League Golf, Union League of Philadelphia, which is expanding. The soon to be known as the Union League?
Union League National.
National.
Yeah, we took over the former Sand Barons Golf Club, 27 holes just outside of Avalon and Stone Harbor.
Dana Fry is going to
Dana Fry
redo things for you?
That's right. Dana Fry is coming back. He designed the course 20 years ago with Herdsden and Fry. They designed, obviously, Aaron Hills, where the U.S. Open was held this year. And we're excited to have them on board to create a new addition for our members down at the shores.
It's going to be something. Joe Logan, no stranger to Teed Off from myphillygolf.com. Good to see you, Joe. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
And Quinn Spitzer, he is the new president of the Golf Association of Philadelphia, member long time and standing at Huntington Valley Country Club.
Hi, Harry. How you doing?
Good. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, let's talk about the year that we're wrapping up now, 2017. Notable in a lot of ways, I guess. Joe, I'll start with you. What were one or two things that kind of stuck out for you of the golf year for 2017?
Well, let me start locally, and that would be the number of clubs that are being taken over by
the corporate
world. I think that that's going to continue. I don't think we've seen the last of that as golf continues to right size, as a consultant might say. Courses they're going to be more courses that probably close. They're going to be courses that get thrown a lifeline and do okay. That's going to continue to play out in 2018 as well. Would you agree?
I think so. No question.
Yeah, we've seen different models. I mean, Club Corp has taken over a couple courses, one of which I am a member of, North Hills. And of course, what the new model with the Union League is doing, first at an established country club like Tarsdale, Northeast Philadelphia. And as you mentioned, what's happening down the shore, that's another different model.
Sure.
And it's not going to change, is it?
It's not. The standalone private club, it's a tough model to keep up with. Clubs need to reinvest in their infrastructure, and if you're not growing, you're dying in the golf world. So if clubs fail to reinvest in infrastructure, golf course, renovations, to upkeep with the growing amount of amenities that families require these days, it'll be hard for individual clubs to do that.
And you're sitting now on the hot seat, so to speak, at the Golf Association of Philadelphia because you have these member clubs. And I don't know, like we said, how much it's going to affect possible closings, but also looking at a new plan. And that's something I'm sure that GAP is trying to advise and look around the country and see what other people are doing.
Well, and we've gotten very, very big. In 2018, we're adding dozens more clubs to the Golf Association and thousands of new members as we take over the administration of the gin handicap system and the like for the North Central Pennsylvania Golf Association for anthracite. Those clubs have different types of challenges, And integrating them and really trying to figure out what needs to be done to make them as healthy as possible is going to be a big challenge. And I think that some of those clubs are going to be clubs that are going to look at places like concert golf and say, you know, maybe this is a way for us to go ahead and improve the golf experience for our members.
Getting back to our original topic here, the year is 2017. Sean, besides what Joe talked about, what kind of strikes you as being a big event over the past 12 months?
There's so many in professional golf. If we're spectating and looking at the guys on tour, Sergio went in his first Masters. Jordan Spieth at the Open Championship was unbelievable, hitting the ball off the range, sinking that putt. And then, of course, you know, not too long ago, you know, the return of Tiger Woods. And if it's as insignificant as the Hero Challenge, it certainly made a splash and brought a lot of people back to spectating golf. So it's exciting for golf that you've got him back in the game. He looks fairly sharp, and it's a lot to look forward to for 2018.
Absolutely. How about you, Quinn?
Well, one of the stories that I'm really interested in is the continuation of high-end destination golf. It started really with Bandon Dunes, then Stream Song, and the best course in the United States this year is basically Sand Valley in the middle of Wisconsin, my wife's home state. And again, put together by the same people who did Bandon. It looks like the destination, high-end destination golf is going to continue, and that's a good sign for the health of golf around the United States.
Yeah, that is a major switch, right? Because, you know, normally when people think about destination golf, they're thinking warm climes. They're not thinking Oregon's coastline. They're not thinking the middle of Wisconsin, all right? Like, is that trend, or is it just, are they going to max out soon on that type of idea?
It's interesting. I actually visited Sand Valley in late October this year. It is in the middle of nowhere. It's not easy to get to, but it's a fantastic place, and it is one of those destination places that golf is such a unique sport because you can visit these exotic locations, feel like you're part of the landscape, and get to know the surrounding area and really have a wonderful experience.
I guess Whistling Straits pretty much started, I don't know if they started it, but that was sort of a trailblazer for the kind of thing that you're talking about.
And everybody at the time Herb Kohler did Whistling Straits and Black Wolf Run said he was crazy as a loon. And he proved that maybe he wasn't so dumb after all. And it's been a tremendous success, and it hasn't really paled out. It's not like it was great and then all of a sudden it petered out. It's still very, very strong and still a very desired destination.
Stream Song is what, 36 holes, I think? Core and Crenshaw were involved in one of them. Tom Doak was involved.
54.
54.
Gil Hanse is black.
Gil Hanse is down there, right? And it's stay and play, upscale, no question about it. And it's in Florida, so you have that going for it in the wintertime. But, I mean, are any of these courses that you guys just ticked off, possibly down the road a USGA or a PGA championship site?
Well, of course, Whistling Straits has.
Did.
Yeah, but I think any of them are
But like Stream
capable.
Song, is there an 18 holes down there or a combination of them?
Nowhere to stay. It's out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, okay, that's the problem, right?
But then again, you also have the same issue with Erin Hills this year, which is not the easiest place to get to as well. They held a very successful U.S. Open. I just don't think you can tell. I think those are sites that people are going to look at.
But when was a major held in Florida?
Good point.
It's, I have another local story to think about, and that is, Aronimink has always been one of the top clubs in this area, but it's sort of labored in the shadow of Marion when it comes to major championships. I think we're going to look back on 2017 as the year Aronimink, I don't want to say stepped out of the shadow, but certainly came into its own with the BMW coming in, next year. And
or
then they just,
2018,
in the past month or so, they've announced the 2022 Women's U.S. Open and the 2027
or Women's PGA Championship.
PGA
Championship for men and women. The men a little bit down the road.
But it's definitely, it's for a long time wanted to get a major. And now that's starting to happen.
And speaking of Gil Hanse, Gil has been involved there in kind of reshaping things at Aronimink, getting them ready for those three big championships.
They've done a tremendous job. They've had great leadership at Aronimink. The two past presidents, Steve Zottner, Joe Fabrizio, the current president, have really led that course and that club through a real refurbishing of its reputation and its golf course, which were always great to begin with, but now top drawer. And the fact that they actually got the award before the BMW Championship was completed is a pretty good indication of what the golf world thinks of that golf club.
There you go, 2018 BMW Championship, September at Aronimink. Gentlemen, thank you, and we'll be back. More of Inside Golf in a moment.
Located in Bluebell, just a short drive from Plymouth Meeting, Bluestone Country Club offers a setting that's close at hand but feels like a world away. Bluestone offers a championship caliber golf course, practice facilities including a large driving range, separate chipping and putting areas, and a staff of PGA professionals. At the Country House at Bluestone, you'll find excellent food, superb service, and an outstanding setting. Their expert staff will assist in planning your next event, whether it's a wedding or simply a luncheon, dinner, or cocktail party. Check out Bluestone's variety of membership options. Much more than a golf course, Bluestone is a community.
Along with being stewards of the game of golf, your local PGA professional wears many hats.
We are teachers.
We are players.
We are managers.
We are merchandisers.
And community leaders.
But we all wear one badge.
PGA professionals are well-trained experts who work hard to share the joy of golf with our neighbors for over 90 years. To find your local PGA professional, visit phillypga.com. Brought to you by the Philadelphia section of the PGA.
We are the experts in the game and business of golf.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. Behind me, yeah, the snow is still on the ground. That's the first fairway here at Aronimink. That snow, we hope, won't be there too much longer. And right behind me is the restored opening tee here at Donald Ross's masterpiece of Aronimink Golf Club. Our thanks to Gil Hanse and to John Gosselin for kind of guiding us through the plan from the beginning and almost done here at Aronimink. I'm Harry Donahue. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up. See you next time on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf, now celebrating its 20th season, is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirsttphiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.